Hey everyone, welcome to the Growin Up Podcast. We're your hosts. My name's Nevaeh.
And my name's Amber.
And if you haven't listened to us before, we talk about everything and anything that has to do with growing up. So if that sounds like something you're into, join us for the conversation. Transitioning on over to today's episode. We are actually going to skip out on our learning topic today because I'm the host of today's episode, and we're going to be doing a lot of learning about Amber and her journey to, drumroll please, level 30 unlocked.
That's not what I was expecting.
No, that's funny. Anyways, for today's episode, we will be kind of bypassing the learning topic. Don't worry, I'll bring all my amazing learning topics in the next episode. But for today's episode, it's a special somebody, my co-host here, Amber's birthday. So we wanted to take this time. It's a pretty big milestone. Sorry to put your age out there like that,
right.
But that's going to be the title of this episode. So Amber's hitting the big 3-0. Obviously, that takes her out of her 20s, which...
Damn!
But according to Amber, the 30s are the new 20s, so don't you worry.
Yes.
But we'll be using today's episode to kind of hear from Amber. Hopefully she can, as a young elder, I would say, she's been through a lot in her 30 years. So we want to showcase that and hear a little bit of like what she's learned, what she's gained. Again, like there's a lot of books out there that talk about your 20s. It's a really monumental, decade of time where you learn a lot about yourself. The expectations for you are a lot different compared to when you're 10 and compared to when you're 60. So it's a very high pressure time of somebody's life because of everything that kind of plays in factor, especially in today's society, unfortunately. Yeah. So, and Amber's kind of been in is that generation that seen a lot of the development of things also. She had all of the box TV and acting like I didn't have a box TV.
I know you're the one who actually had a box TV. Dora 1 to be exact.
And you get what I'm saying, that Amber's seen a pretty big transition that I think a lot of people in this generation have seen. And I don't really think that comes across too often. But definitely that 90 to 2000s was a huge difference in timing and how things were. So we're going to dig a little bit into that, and hopefully this will give you some insights into what it feels like to not be 20 anymore.
Oh my god. Wow.
Check.
Thank
Roast
you.
Amber.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to turn the mic over to Amber to let her introduce herself. And if you haven't noticed, I am the host of this episode today. So my first time hosting a topic. So enjoy. Enjoy.
Give yourself a little praise.
I will actually be today's host. Amber is no longer co-host. She's guest Amber.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Even though I thought of the topic by myself. Just kidding. Yeah. So no, you had a really good point about talking about the generation, or just, I guess, the era of kids who were born, I guess not kids anymore. Oh my God. The people who were born from the 90s through the 2000s, because that was that middle, technically I could really identify with whatever group I want, because I'm born in 95. Cat's out of the bag. I guess everybody can know my year now, but I feel like I embody millennial, but like you said, I do definitely have that. I mean, I try to be a Gen Z. I think that's funny. I do think I identify more with millennial now that I think about it, because sometimes you make me feel old, and sometimes your generation makes me realize that I'm not that Gen Z.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's
but no.
Good.
Yeah.
We're doing our job.
Yeah. I was actually like not really thinking about being 30 until you just said it like 20 times in that intro. And I'm like, damn, like now it really hit. It hit hard just now.
Like a bus.
I was fine with it until you just kept throwing the number 30 out there in the past 5 minutes.
in multiple sentences.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I get it. You can stop now.
And just a little background. This is today, like the day we're recording is not actually her actual birthday, but by the time you will be seeing this, she will be 30. So definitely give Amber a big ol' birthday shout out. When y'all down in the comment, or give Amber a big birthday shout out. God damn it. Give Amber a big birthday shout out down in the comments. Yeah, hype her up for being 30.
Thanks. Oh my God.
That's funny. So, okay, I'm gonna like pretend like obviously, you know what? Actually, we'll include a little bit of it, but I feel like a lot. Actually, you let me know. Would you say like what was the most of the 30 years you've been alive? What has been the most monumental time point of your life, do you think?
Oh my God. Like as in an age or like an actual moment of like
I guess like just like a like I don't know, like sometimes I peaked in high school, so I would say my high school time.
Okay.
But you know what I mean? Like where was it, like what moment in your 30 years were you like pretty monumental? I would argue that probably the 20s probably should be, but again, it's people like me who peak in high school.
Yeah. No, I think that I've said this before, but the year of 23 was one of the hardest years like in my life, where like I was transitioning, I was really growing, I was trying to find myself. Like I think that was definitely the hardest point in my life, and I feel like everything after that has really been very monumental. But to be completely honest, I would say the past 2 years of my 20s has been like the most insane and monumental, and like me just thriving, where like I feel like I've all right, that's the 20s. Nobody likes to talk about the young 20s. You're crazy and like kind of dumb.
It's like those wouldn't exist. So
yeah, you just want to forget that side of you, and then you like move on. And I've like grown a little bit in my mid-20s. I feel like I really like fit the, I guess, what you would think of a stereotype of. I was crazy in my 20s, and I hit my 23 and I was like, oh shit, like gotta get shit together. And then I like worked my way up, and then now I'm finally at that point where it's very like steady.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely the past 2 years. And I think a lot of that though was that I had gotten away from Arizona. So like really getting out of my comfort zone, really like at that point in my like career where I'm thriving, but that's also because I have really taken the time to discover myself, which was something that I set out after that year 23 was like, okay, I need to like figure out my priorities, what I want, like who I am, and how I'm going to go about the rest of my life. So I feel like I figured that out in my mid 20s, and then like 28 is when I was like, okay, now I can continue down my route.
Right.
With intention.
With intention, yeah. Like you have a better idea of what it is that you could see yourself doing. Like you see a future after that. Because I feel like, when you're in high school and those times are starting to change and you're kind of being introduced to this new life, you really like have a good idea. But once you get past that, like 23, it's kind of hard to see yourself in 5 years or 10 years. It was you're very optimistic as a high schooler or a young individual, but once you get past that, you understand the reality of life and a little bit of the reality of life, and you're like, fuck that shit.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's funny. Is there anything, which you kind of mentioned, but I mean, I could be completely wrong here, but is there anything that surprised you over this 3 decades that you've done, that you've achieved, that you set out to do?
Yeah, I think the biggest surprise was that like 30 years isn't really that long. And I think that like I was surprised at that because when, like you said, when I was like 20, you don't know what to expect in life or like how fast it is. And then by the time like I hit 30, I was like, wow, like that was so fast and so much shit happened in like even just 12 years, I want to say, of my life since I turned 18. There was just like so many ups and downs that the whole 30 years in general just seemed so fast, but
Right.
encapsulated so much. And I feel like the biggest thing that I've kind of gotten out of that is that I'm no longer afraid to get older because like the next 30 years, like that's gonna be a long time, but like, you know what I mean? Like it's like fast, but I know that a lot can happen in a quick amount of time. So it's,
Right, right. Which kind of goes
yeah,
back to like, envisioning yourself in 10 years. Like
yeah,
maybe it is, you understand that there's so many changes that can take place that maybe
yeah,
it's beyond your own thoughts that you can't even
yeah,
think of something like that. Cause
yeah,
no, you're right. Like the past 3 years, like I've lived in North Carolina for 3 years now. And I'm like, what the hell? You've lived in Denver for 3 years now. And
mm-hmm,
it's just insane.
yeah,
But kind of going down that road of like, he say, she say, being kind of, told these things. Is there anything that you heard when you were like 2010? I don't know. I don't know if anybody's talking to you about that when you were 10 years old, but was there anything that somebody told you and you were like, that made you fear like what you were going to be like when you were 30? Like any sort of like myths that you kind of debunked living it now?
um, yeah, and I think probably like the biggest thing is just school education. I think that that one was like a big thing that was really freaking engraved. Like, okay, like you have to go to school. Like you have to go to school right after you like you get out of high school, and then you're gonna get this job, and then you're gonna be like, whatever, whoever you are in your profession. But I think that the biggest thing that I kind of debunked myself is that you can take your own route and it's never too late. And I think that that was something where I was like really scared to do, but after I did it, I'm like, I don't understand why like people were pushing me to go to school so bad, or like myself, like you know what I mean?
Right,
Like even the
right,
educational system, it's like, why were you pushing me so bad to go to school? Like,
right,
if I just take your time and figure out like again like who you are and figure out what you want to do actually, like I feel like that would have been it would have been better to just go about it at my own pace. And I feel like there would have been less time that I had, I wouldn't say wasted, but I do feel
definitely a
like
lot of
sometimes,
money you
yeah, I
saved.
was going to say, I was going to just say, I do feel like I wasted some resources, time and money, but no regrets. But I think that was the biggest thing, that just that traditional route is one thing that I'm like, no,
Yeah,
that was my biggest takeaway. It was like, I did not have to do that.
like the
I could have.
standard timeline kind of dealio.
Yeah, yeah, but and it's kind of weird now because as I am working like now in my career, and I do see kids who are coming out of college at that 22, 23 year, like literally right out of college with their undergrad. They're so young and like so like I feel I did not know who I was at that time, and just to know that they've already gotten their degree and now they're going to be, I wouldn't say trapped in this like route, but like that's a big
Right.
decision to make after college because it's not I mean it's not, it is very hard to transition careers, but those first like young professional years are very like meaningful for the rest of your life. So
Yeah.
it's just a big decision to make. And I feel that like props to some people who are like doing really good, but I do see a lot of young professionals struggling with figuring out what they want to do.
Right, right. Like there's a good route and there's a route that might not be so beneficial in doing so.
Yeah.
Like, I agree. I agree being individual who's gone straight through and has now found themselves as a young professional. I think it's very eye opening.
Yeah.
And that doesn't go to say that like you can find that same kind of,
Yeah.
experience in college, but it's just
Hmm.
very different. And yeah, so I would have to agree with you. Anything else?
Uh, yes. I think the other thing that I have really struggled with, I wouldn't say struggle with, it's been more of a recent thing because I never wanted to have kids when I was younger, but I see a lot of my age group now with kids. And I'm like, oh my God, like I would never, I don't even, I can't even imagine what my life would have been like if I had kids so young in my 20s, especially. So I think that is a big thing that I'm like, wow, like props to the
Right.
people who do it very young, but
Right. Right.
that's an insane thing to think
That
about in your
is
20s.
that is the amount of times I like look at myself. I'm like, damn, mom had 2 kids right now. Like,
Right.
I have
And me
two
at the
dogs, and I
club,
can't.
I'm like, oh my God, I can't even imagine my life with kids.
Right. Right. Yeah. No. That's definitely so. Yeah. So no rush to kids,
No rush.
and within
Yeah.
that, the definitive 30 years is
Yes. Yeah. That's another
yeah.
one. But that's pretty much it, I think.
Yeah. So definitely the whole timeline thing, which I think a lot of
Yeah.
people would have to agree. Again, especially in this society. So.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. But I think overall, like the feelings of like I'm excited for the next chapter because it's like a whole new decade. And if anybody knows me, like I love restarts. I love fresh, like new years, new months. And like,
She's
you know
like,
what I
let
mean?
me pull out my decade planner. Let me just seal up the other 10 years of my life, push that to
Yeah.
the side, recycle, shred it.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So I'm excited, but I would say I'm not fearful anymore. I was always fearful of growing up.
Yeah.
But that's now like gone. If I hit anything in my 30s,
He
it's like
said, fuck staying young. I'm getting old.
no. The fear of getting old is no longer there, is what I'm saying. I finally hit that. I came to
She's like, I can afford
agreement.
Botox now, so I'm not afraid to
Yeah.
get old.
Oh my God. Yeah. But yeah,
That's funny.
overall thoughts on this monumental moment.
Right, right. Well, that's awesome. I feel like, it can definitely be like hit or miss, unfortunately, like at that 30 point. Like I feel like I would be
True.
one to be very reflective on my life and be like, what the fuck did I do in
Yeah.
30 years, But again, there are people that have, other things going on. So it could really be a hit or miss. So I'm glad to hear that you've at least are entering this new chapter of your life, at least at a good setting.
Yeah. No, it's funny because I've seen a lot of YouTube videos like, are you like, do you think you're
You
behind at
turning
30?
30?
No, like it's just like making me feel like I was behind. And I always felt like I was behind into my
Oh,
mid 20s. Like that was always that thing that I felt like I needed to catch up. I felt like I needed to catch up, because I
yeah.
didn't go that traditional educational route. So like my middle 20s, I literally felt like I was in a race with I don't know what society
Right, right.
expectations, I guess.
You're like, I'm
So
contestant number 3
yeah, right. Watching me
in
move
this
up,
game of
but
life.
yeah. But when I really like stopped to kind of think about how far I actually have come, I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't know why I was stressing. Like, I'm actually doing really good for 30, and I'm like, I stopped thinking about everyone else and I started thinking about what I have done. And I was
Mm,
like, okay, like I'm no longer in this race of life.
right. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, with that, uh, big question again. We're gonna get all the juicy little details. I feel like I'm the freaking host of Love Island right now. Let me get
Oh
all
my
the
God.
tea. Um, all right. Top 3 things that you've learned over 30 years or 20s or the 30 years of living, I guess. Whatever you feel relevant to you. Obviously, you had we had an interesting upbringing, so if
Yeah.
you learned a lesson as young as that, or within your 20s, top list 3 lists. Oh my gosh, top 3 learned topics.
Top 3 learned topics. I think the first one is it's never too late to start. I think that in a lot of like different aspects of everything because like literally the hardest thing is to start. So you know what I mean? Like it's never too late because
Right.
so I feel like that was a big one and that was just with like going back to school. That was also with like moving. I always wanted to move right out of high school and it did take me a while, like out of the state. It took me a while, but I did it and it was like, it's never too late to move out.
Right.
Like so I think that was a big one is just like start. It doesn't matter when, just do it. Um, I want. This is a weird one, but I I don't know if it's that weird. I guess if I change the context a little, but
Like, how do I brace myself?
No, I think really focus on finding yourself. I think that was one of the biggest things that I learned, and one of the things that I try to encourage a lot of people to do is just to figure out who you are as a person. And obviously that'll always change every single day. You're going to be a new person, but like at least finding your values and your mission and your why in life brought me a long way. And like, again, like that always changes, but I do realize that like the things I do value and that does guide me in life, I guess I can say.
Yeah.
So that was also a big one. I have mentioned this in a previous podcast, but I was like in a relationship right out of high school, and no regrets to that. But I do really wish that I had taken the time to like learn myself before I got into that. But I guess you live and you learn, you know. So, but one of the biggest things is like ever since I took the time to find myself, I think that helped me in finding a partner, because I was able to like understand what I was bringing to the table, and able, again, like know what I value, and being able to find someone who either supports me in my values or also, you know, values the same things as I do. That was it was a big aid in creating a healthy and positive relationship, is what I will say. So that would be my second. Take the time to find yourself. Also, my third one is going to have to be finances. I think that the biggest lesson that I learned is that you should learn about personal finances. The sooner the better. But I think that a lot of us go through life worrying about money, whether that be like you're struggling, you know, to have money. And like you said, we went through this upbringing of like coming from a low income like home and family and parents and such. But I think that one thing that really helped guide me in life was when I understood finances. So little transparency with everyone. But when I was in my young and wild early 20s, I did get into like credit card debt, and like I did drop out of school, and I owed money back to the like where I was getting money for my education. And like once I like really understood what that meant and how much like I was gonna have to like recover from
to get yourself out of
yeah.
that hole. Yeah.
Yeah, that like changed something in my mind of like I never wanted to get there again. And it helped me learn that I can be fine financially no matter how much money I have. It's all like a mind game. You know what I mean? Like whether I'm making only 40,000 or over like six figures, you know, like you can still live comfortably no matter what. You will have to obviously make sacrifices, but you don't have to always be in a bad spot with money. Is what I should say.
Yeah.
So that I think that really did help me live more comfortable, I guess. Just that peace of mind of knowing that like it could be worse, but also that I know how to get myself out.
Yeah,
I have done it. That was like really also probably my biggest lesson is like I don't want to go there again, but if I do know how to get out.
No, that's a good one, because I feel like a lot of the debt that people endure is very much like you could have prohibited at some point had like these lessons been earlier on. And I think as long as you're addressing the issue within your 20s, I think it's good to say that if you have a gambling addiction, maybe don't take, you know. But I feel like it's safe to say that like now's the time to fix it versus waiting to address like the habit or the issue or whatever it is that you're doing in your 50s when you're you know, about to retire, should be retiring in 10, 20 years. So like no, that makes a lot of sense. And I think
but if you are in those situations, it's never too late to start. Just kidding.
Episode 50, everyone's like, it's never too late to start.
Yeah.
She's like still going to school on her computer. It's never too late to start.
Oh my god. Yes, that's
I'm
me.
just kidding.
But yeah, those are my big 3. It's never
Okay.
too late.
That's a good one though. That is a good one because I feel like there is this constraint a lot of the times with the timeline, and that kind of goes hand in hand of like if you didn't accomplish it in your early 20s, like, you know, is it worth doing it in your 30s or something along the
Yeah.
lines? Like, I used to teach fitness classes at UNC, and it was a recommended course, and we used to have definitely over 30-year-olds having to take these fitness classes because it's a requisite to graduate from UNC. So like, it's never too
Yeah.
late. You might have to take a fitness class with a bunch of frat boys, but
Right.
you know, it's
Right.
one class. You got your exercise done for today. Call it goods. Okay. So those are kind of like, those are very meaningful. Thank you, Amber, for your insight there. What about, can you give us some like random ass lessons that you learned? Just like, you know, random as fuck.
Never go to a gay club on a Wednesday.
Can you repeat that for the viewers? Can you?
Never go to a gay club on Wednesday night because you will definitely be hungover the next day. Especially if you gotta work
to your work
or school.
or your class.
Yeah. Yes. Or you might show up, but you're not gonna be feeling the greatest. Yeah, no. You know, I think about how many times I went out
on a
like,
Wednesday
or just like any day, you know, and then I wake up feeling like shit. And like I get it, like, you know, I still be doing that, but like I just think about why I put myself through that so many times. You know what I mean? Like it's just so young and dumb of me and everyone who does that, but you don't have to do it. I'm just kidding. And you can limit yourself. No, that's a funny one. I think just, I mean, clearly lesson not learned because I do have my once a year moment, but you know, you learn to control it.
Right. You put a number to it at some point.
Yeah.
You put a limit to it.
Yeah, that's a funny one. What else? I think that's probably like just my biggest.
Any learning
one.
like cleaning, organization, transportation, cooking.
Yes, okay, this is gonna be a random one. I don't know if it's really funny, but I would say learn to use public transportation. You would be surprised how many people don't know like how to use public transportation, and like it's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? And now when I go to like random cities or just places, I'm like, let me just look at the buses really quick because that might be more efficient for me, cost efficient, and you know, you can explore in a different way. I learned that early on in my like 20s. And then like even like now that I'm getting back into it. But it's funny because when I see my girlfriend who never really did that for like a long term, you know?
Yeah.
It's just so new to her. And I'm like, but this is so cool. You can literally go anywhere for like $3. So yeah, that's a random one. If you don't know how to ride the city bus, you should try it.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I remember, I think I've talked about it on episode, but I remember when Amber was about to leave to go to college, she was like, we need to teach you how to ride the bus. And we went on a whole trip around the entire city of Flagstaff. And then I was the leader with my friends. I'm like, let's go take the city bus, guys. And then we spent like half of our middle school and high school riding the city bus places. So,
yeah.
That's funny. No, because that's the same thing that happened to Sam too. She like had to go literally one bus route down and then another bus route back, and the amount of times I had to pick her up on the side of the road because
oh my god.
Yeah, so that's a good one. That's a good one. Oh. All right. Well, thank you for throwing us back a little bit to, you know, pretend like if you're listening, you didn't see that. Doug, as you're listening. Oh my gosh. Okay. So glad we got that one through. But now you're heading in. You said new chapter. You like to use this time to reset, and yeah, I'm actually kind of curious to see how you're gonna do this whole reset for another decade, because I feel like that wasn't a thing when you were 20 at the time.
No, it was not.
So I think this will be very interesting to see how you go about this. You should probably document this for people to see. Give this video a thumbs up if you think Amber should make a series of her resetting for her 30s. I think that'd be pretty cool.
True.
Yeah. So with that, have you gotten to the point of where you're setting goals? I know you're a big goal person. Have you started it yet, or what are those looking like?
I started mentally thinking about it. I'm hoping when I'm at the airport, when I'm at the airport tomorrow, I'm gonna be writing up my goals. I think my biggest one though in my 30s is I really want to travel. I think that is the prime time in my life, because now I like have some funds to fund it and I have a passport and I have a job that I can take time off. And I think that is like the perfect mix to be able to travel. So my goal in my 30s is like, I want to go to 10 different countries. Hopefully more, but that sets that like one a year kind of thing. That's my big one. Honestly, that's like my first thing that I'm like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to fucking go to travel around the world. Yeah, I'm really excited for that one. And my girlfriend just got her passport. It should be coming in the mail any day. So it's like, send it up.
There yesterday.
Yeah, that was just her birth certificate being sent back.
Oh, dang.
If you didn't know, they take it. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's a lesson learned. I'm just kidding.
Let me add that to my
30s. No. For those who don't know, like I've never been out of the country, so that's a big one for me. Something that I've been wanting to do. So that's my big one. Obviously, like financial security is also still in there. I want to be able to. They call it a freedom number. Basically, it's like being able to find a set amount of income where you can live like comfortably,
like no constraints, like freely.
Yeah. I want to hit that number and find that number, and then I want to slowly, gradually get away from like a traditional 9-to-5 and more of self-sustaining my freedom number, basically. That's a big thing that I'd like to do, and I mean, that's pretty much it. Also, my health. I think that like here is something that they tell you that is not a myth, is that you literally like peak in your 20s of your like body health. You know what I mean? Like once I hit that 29 year, they were like countdown to 30, bitch, and like all this shit started happening to my body.
So, walking like, zombie into her 30s.
Finishing the quest line. Level 30.
Level 30. You come back, you have like a bandaged up leg.
Yeah. No, that I really need to take seriously. I feel that I cannot let that slip in my mind in my 30s. Well, for the rest of my life, really. But, it's only your body only deteriorates from here on out. So being able to keep your body healthy and sustain it and keep it nutriented. Is that a word? Nutrified? You know what I mean? Like just health in general is like a priority. I haven't figured out how that's going to be a thing, but it needs to be a big thing.
It needs to be a thing.
It needs to be right underneath traveling. Not above. Underneath.
Not that important, but pretty important.
Yeah.
Just for life.
YOLO, Is that a millennial thing?
Yeah. That's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, no, I mean, but like obviously there's some more like I'm more like a yearly goal setter. So, but I do think my biggest.
I'm only looking at 31.
Yeah, for now. But no, the traveling thing is definitely like my big bucket list for my 30s. I used to like really be set on buying a house, and I haven't figured out if that like is in my mind. Like definitely I want to invest in real estate.
Yeah.
And I have a different mentality of that versus like a house. Like I don't want to buy my house that I'm gonna be in for the rest of my life in my 30s. I want to invest in real estate, but like
Right.
yeah, so I mean there's little stuff like that that I also think about, but
Right. But definitely not like the time or place right now. Like not just for you, but like the world.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think definitely not like your problem, but
Yeah, for sure. Right. Like I need to get married in the next year because I might not be able to. I guess I gotta squeeze that in 30.
Well, good thing you're technically married because you guys have been together for more than 5 years.
Oh my god, you and Jess.
Is that what Jess said?
Yes, she says that. She literally said
That's
that like
funny.
2 days ago.
That's hilarious. No, I'm actually really excited for you because I think obviously we're small town girls.
Yeah.
Who I don't think traveling was ever really a thing, to be honest. Like a lot of our family had not traveled. I think we had some like great, I guess, grandpas that had, traveled abroad, but I think it was always something that wasn't promoted too often. Reasons I feel like are very mixed, but I think that's really exciting. I think just like being a sister, but also being like a family and whatnot. Like I think, it's nice to see that that's wanted for other, for yourself. And I hope that family members or friends see that and also know that there's a lot more to this world, because the closest I'm getting is 90 Day Fiance. No, but that show does open up my eyes a lot to like the world in general and just like this different dynamic of life. And like, you scroll through those TikToks and they're like, this is this country and whatever, and they're just doing their daily tasks, and you're like, that's gnarly. So I'm actually really excited for you to go see the world, because I think there's, it's meant for you out there.
No.
And we get new magnets everywhere. So.
What?
And moving on. No, actually, I'm genuinely surprised that you don't have like a plan yet, or like a
I literally have
written out.
I literally, like, I'm not joking. That is what I'm doing tomorrow at the airport.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I first need to go over my 29 goals to make sure that like I hit those. And then, like I said, I usually do like year, but this is me my first time thinking about the broader decade.
Yeah.
So that was my first thing, traveling.
Do you think at this point now it doesn't become like sometimes people say that like, you don't celebrate your birthday after so many years, or like, it's just kind of like another year in your books. Do you believe like in that, or do you think now it's going to become more of a like a clumping of like lifestyles? And I'm asking for myself, actually.
Well, I don't think I've ever really been a birthday person to begin with. So I do like the year of reset. That's what I consider my birthday, the reset.
She's like, annual reset in her calendar, not even my birthday.
Remember, my birthday wasn't even on our calendar this whole month.
Well, Riley's was, and you guys missed it. So
true. No, honestly, I feel like I want to put more emphasis on my birthday moving forward. I think that it's like worth celebrating, which again, like I've always had this negative connotation with birthdays. I don't know, maybe it's the attention that I didn't like growing up, because I never really liked having a birthday, or like I don't like when people sing happy birthday to me, that kind of vibe's not my vibe. But now I'm like in this stage where I'm like, birthday would be kind of nice. But I just think
bowling.
Yeah. I just think it's just more about like gifting yourself something that, like whether it be the presence of friends or like the presence of going somewhere you want to go or getting that thing that makes you like happier, So I think that I've come to that conclusion, like I deserve it. And
Mm.
it's okay to embrace the celebration of life. Um, which I wasn't that, again, like I think it goes back to that losing that fear of growing up. Now I'm like,
Mm.
okay, like this is cool.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I do realize that because I feel like, building up to 21, it's like such an exciting moment. Like you do want to celebrate those moments to like, I don't know, like being able to drink, I guess.
Yeah, right.
But like, I guess it's just like has been this definitive like time point that, is said to be X, Y, and Z,
Yeah.
most amazing time of your life. And then, after that, it really just becomes this fear of getting older and what happens after 21.
Mm-hmm.
And I can definitely see how that could, be a thing, because I honestly don't put too much emphasis on my birthday anymore. It's not as much as I was when I was
Yeah.
like 18, 19, 20, 21, or
Mm-hmm.
like, the want to have like a birthday party. Like I haven't also put a lot of emphasis on my birthday, but I think it is that fear of kind of getting older and building up those numbers, because I do claim myself to be 22 still. I used to say 21, but obviously it's
She
getting a
just
little.
moved to 22.
I just moved to 22,
Like a month
and
ago.
so no, it is kind of, at least I don't know, maybe
Yeah. And
youth thinking.
yeah. Yeah. And I think also too, I had that mentality, like I mentioned earlier, that I felt like I was always behind.
Mm,
And I think that also made me not want to like get older, because then I'm like, oh shit, now I'm 27 and in college with all these like young, you know what I mean? Like I kept thinking about
right.
others with myself. And now that that's all gone out of my mind, it's like, okay, it's okay to be 30.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. And I feel like too, like once you get past a certain point of like, being in something that kind of tells your age, like being in
Hmm.
college, or I think really just being in college, like people then start to not realize how old you are. So it shouldn't even
Mm-hmm.
matter at that point. Like obviously when you're young and you're doing this, this, and this, it's going to become a point where you're no longer really restrained to that environment, or now people don't really know what you're doing. That also means they're not going to know your age. So like,
Yeah.
why should it matter if nobody's going to freaking know your
True.
age in the end of the day? Like people think I'm freaking old as hell, and I'm like, no, I'm 22. I'm just kidding.
And then me the other way around. They think I'm like 23 and I'm like, I'm 30. Yeah.
Exactly. So thank you for highlighting that. And let us know down below in the comments if you kind of feel similar, or you find yourself thinking in that same mentality, because I think it's really important to I think it could be really important to acknowledge prior to that as well.
Yeah.
Things could
Yeah.
change,
Yeah.
or they could not. I don't know. So okay, we're kind of getting to the end of Amber's level 30 episode. So any final takeaways? I know we kind of just debriefed a pretty big one here just a while ago, but any other bigger takeaways, milestones, things that like life-changing, altering moments, that you would like to pass to our listeners?
To our listeners. Um, I think like the biggest thing is just be intentional with your goal. Like I literally think just goals in general makes life fun and exciting, and like something to look forward to. Because
Yeah.
like you said, we all look forward to 21 because we can go drink or be free. But after that, it's like finding something else to look forward to. Um, so I think that when I started doing my yearly goals, I was probably like 24, 25. Um, that has really helped me like live intentionally every single day, because I
Hmm.
have goals that I look forward to, and it helped me like guide myself through life.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I didn't have all the goals that I set, even though some of them like I didn't honestly achieve, I tried, and it made every waking up, it gave me that intention to do something good for myself because I was trying to achieve something good. And I've had a lot more success since I have started doing that. So I would definitely encourage a lot of people to actually set some goals, whether that be like me, like every year around the sun kind of vibe, or New Year's, decades, whatever. You got to start somewhere.
Right.
So I think that's probably that's my wisdom that I'm passing down, is set some goals for yourself to be
I like that.
intentional. Yeah.
I like that a lot. Just kind of because I'm curious and, kind of thinking a little bit into it. Any tips for like if somebody finds themselves in a rut, and like they kind of have lost that sight for goal setting or being intentional? Like, is there something you did or somebody told you or something along those lines that kind of helped you or, allowed you to feel like you could do that again?
Yeah. I think I mentioned this before in one of the episodes, but one of the biggest like mental shifts that I had in terms of like, I didn't know this when I was going through my rut, but then it made sense once I learned it, is like the like accomplishment momentum. Basically, like it starts with the morning. Like making your bed is like the biggest thing that I started doing, and taking the time to actually celebrate those little wins and keeping that going. So like I think what I learned it from a YouTuber actually, and he like said, if you're feeling in a rut, start thinking about all the little wins until it gets you back out of that rut. And the first thing you should do is make your bed and then pat yourself on the back, celebrate that win, go on and like do something else that is small, but it's making you feel good about yourself that you didn't want to do, and just continue to make that wave a little bit bigger, until you find that momentum again to get back into whatever you're doing. But sometimes I think we do get in those ruts and we forget that even just getting through a day is something you should celebrate, especially when you're in those ruts like that. Um, so I think that really helped me because, again, I felt like I was behind and I didn't really like take the time to think about even where I was. When I thought I was
Right.
behind, I was like a whole ass manager managing people, and like I don't know why I thought I was behind when I had already done
Right.
something that a lot of other people still haven't done,
Yeah.
in their entire life. And I think that just taking that time to celebrate the little wins really helped me, get back out of my rut and find that momentum to keep going and go on to bigger and better things.
Yeah. No, that's great. I think that it's this like new like world we're entering. I think that's needed more than ever. I
Yeah.
think in a world where you're kind of held to this standard, this invisible standard that's not even technically existing. Like there's no
Mm-hmm.
punishment if you don't do what this timeline
Yeah.
is. Like there's no reward for being quote unquote
Yeah.
like in the timeline. Like you're still gonna live your life, you're still gonna wake
Mm-hmm.
up every day. And I think that that's really important, and I'm glad that that's helped
Yeah.
you and makes me a little bit more hopeful to myself that I will soften out this rut.
Yeah.
But
No.
also I think that's really relatable too, so hopefully somebody needed to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to kind of end off today's episode, we're gonna do a little bit of a little bit of a fun activity, where we're gonna ask Amber 30 rapid fire
Oh my god.
questions.
All right.
Sponsored by ChatGPT. So these are
Please
my first
sponsor
time.
us.
Please sponsor us. Anyways, okay, ready? 30 rapid fire questions. Ready?
Yep.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
First thing you do when you wake up? Go take a
Shower?
shit.
No, I shower.
Okay. A food you'll never get tired of?
Spaghetti.
Really? Things never
Yeah.
change. A food you'll never eat again?
What is the green stuff? Pistachio ice cream, cars. Wasabi?
Car.
Wasabi.
Oh, pistachio ice cream.
Yeah, from Cars. Mater,
Oh,
tomato.
oh. That's funny. I
I
would have thought sushi, like, and whatever.
no, I don't like
Wasabi.
wasabi. Yeah. Mm-mm.
I don't either. Okay. What's your go-to comfort TV show or movie?
Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift.
Really?
Yeah. I watch that so much.
That's
I
crazy.
literally just watched that yesterday.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That makes me want to go watch it though, because I do like that movie. A song that instantly puts you in a good mood.
Party rock anthem.
Aw.
Party rock.
Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Probably South America.
Okay. Not surprised there. What's one word your friends would describe you as?
Smart.
Okay. Not this is your friend.
Not you, but rude.
What's one word you would use to describe yourself?
Leader.
Okay. If you had to meet one meal every day for a year, what would it be?
Sonoran hot dog.
Damn. That's kind of funny, actually. Beach vacation or mountain getaway?
Mountain getaway.
Do you believe in luck or hard work? That's a good
Both.
question. Okay. Favorite childhood memory?
Driving back from Minnesota to Arizona after I got homesick and had to be picked up all the way across the country.
Wait, is that when we picked you up in Denver?
And you guys picked me up in Nebraska.
Okay, somewhere
Because
along
I was
there. But we
homesick.
stopped in Denver, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, okay. Something embarrassing you did as a kid.
I almost burnt a house down.
That is
And the only reason why I got caught was because I couldn't jump over the fence, and all of the people I was with were able to jump over the fence.
Wait, is this a different time than the one I'm thinking about?
Yes, it's a different. This is the first time. I'm a little bit of a pyro. I'm proud.
Okay. We might need to bleep that one out. You just self-incriminated yourself.
Okay. But I did get caught.
I already paid my consequences.
Yes.
Okay, what's the weirdest food combo you've tried and actually liked?
Goldfish and applesauce.
I kind of briefly remember you trying that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still do that? Please tell me.
Goldfish and applesauce. Please sponsor us.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Dream job as a kid versus dream job now.
I wanted to be a doctor when I was a kid. Now I want to be an entrepreneur.
A habit you're proud of. I'm making my bed in the morning.
Setting goals.
A habit you're trying to break.
Chewing my nails.
Knew it. What's your biggest ick? Okay, chatty with the slang.
I would probably say talking shit about people behind their back.
That's a valid one.
But afraid to say it to them.
Okay. Yeah, that's even more valid.
Yeah.
A movie you can quote word for word.
Probably Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
You can say that word for word?
Pretty much.
Interesting. I actually have not, I didn't know that was your favorite movie. I'm kind of shook. But I should have known. I should have known. Okay. If you had a warning label, what would it say?
OCD.
Just
what
OCD?
do you call it? What do you call it? I don't know. Yeah, OCD. I guess OCD. Caution. Has OCD. It's not even like real OCD. It's more like just like OCD on a mild level.
It probably is. You just haven't
true, really understood it.
Diagnosed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
What's the last thing you Googled? Okay, T.
The Batman movies. I'm trying to be hip with my brother. I'm trying to be what if people don't know anything about me is that I am not pop cultured.
What does
So
pop cultured mean?
like if you were to ask me about a movie, I can't tell you if I watched it or not because I don't really remember. I can't remember actresses and actors' names and
Oh, that's what that's called, because I
yeah.
don't know that either.
Yeah, just
I'll be like, remember that one time in that movie this happened? Like, what?
Yeah.
And it has that one lady in it that's kind of blonde, but
Yeah.
that's me.
So he likes our brother likes Batman, and he's been watching all like the Batman movies. I didn't even know there was more than one.
Really? Amber.
So I was Googling all the Batman movies.
That's funny. I feel like you have been a little bit more in the cinema of
trying.
Yeah. Which can be pretty deep, so good luck. Okay, number 24. A talent you wish you had.
Dancing.
Really?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, getting down. Well, you were just saying how in your one video I took of you at Charlie's on a Thursday.
Oh, yeah, that I was getting better because I'm practicing. But it just does not come natural.
I was a party rock anthem.
I can shuffle.
That's funny. Okay, what's scarier? I actually know the answer, but our viewers don't. Ghosts, clowns, or spiders?
Spiders.
Really? Like, do you have any?
Wait, was that not what you thought?
No, that's that was my response for the viewers. Actually, you know what? When I like read it and I was like, she's definitely gonna say spiders, but then I thought about it and I was like, I don't know. Those other two are kind of scary as well. So,
true. What were
like
you
the
ask?
ghost thing?
Yeah,
that was pretty scary.
Let me know if you want to hear about that in the podcast.
Okay, if you could swap lives with one person for a day, who would it be?
Ooh, I don't know. Probably like a president.
Okay, vibes. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I just want to see what it's like. You know,
all hell break loose ever.
Everybody at the club on a Wednesday.
And then today's National Charlie's on a Wednesday. And this takes place every Wednesday.
Yeah, it'd probably be. Yeah, I'd want to try being a president for a day.
No, that's a good one actually. Okay. Worst fashion trend you ever participated in?
You always just throw this one in.
No, Chatty gave it to me.
You asked me this before. Colored skinny jeans.
Anything else?
You're so annoying.
Not the colorful Converse.
No, I like that one. They were in the same era. They went together. Okay.
Okay. We got 3 left. A piece of, but you kind of answered this one.
Piece of advice
for your younger self. Something you haven't said before.
Piece of advice for younger self. Know the implications of a credit card before you get one. The final answer.
A piece of advice you'd give your future self.
Stay young. Even though that goes against everything I said, but stay young.
I have this fear of growing up.
Embrace youth.
Okay.
I think okay, like it's okay to be a kid, you know, like embrace your youth.
Ever be all beefing it with the youngsters. And I'm talking about youngsters. That's funny. Okay, what's something that always makes you laugh no matter what?
Probably our video of us when we were younger. Well,
that shit's low-key funny.
Insert here.
Yeah, Amber, sometimes, you know, when I watch the videos back, I'm like, did she insert it? And then I'm always disappointed.
All right, we'll put that one. We have an edit on that actually made by our friend Samantha. So we'll put her video to use.
That is it. That's the 30 questions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Sorry I wasn't fast on some of them.
Not bad.
Not
very rapid, but
no. We got to get better at the rapid fire. Let us know if you like that so we could do more like that.
Yeah. That's where the honesty comes out, you know? You just
True. You know,
Anyways,
I really like this podcast because it made me think, you know, get
like
ready
this
for the
episode.
30s. Bring it on me. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Just in general, like it was a good topic for me to it gave me a moment to reflect and think forward.
Right, right. And I think it also is really refreshing to hear too, because again, like I feel like a lot of people know you're 30. So I think at least for me, like it's very comforting, to kind of hear from somebody who's kind of lived it. And, obviously I'm grateful because you're my sister. So I can just ask you anytime besides the podcast. So like
All right.
like that's not really a factor. But for those who may not have somebody who is they're close to, or these conversations aren't held, like I hope this was a conversation that was a little bit
Hmm.
of a need, or like it was something that you need to hear. Like I hope that is something for you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
I get it.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing us and giving us a little insight to the past 30 years of your life. Again, happy birthday. And
Thanks.
if you guys have time, rate my hosting because this was a lot for me.
She even had an epiphany in life. Figured out her alter ego, apparently.
As you can tell, I was very moved by all of this conversation. I had to find some, relation to myself, and I hope you found some relation to yourself as well. But yeah, thank you for leading us and showing us your path to 30. And like they say, the 30s are the new 20s, so stay young, but not too young.
But don't be afraid to get
Signing
old.
out. Signing
Stay
out.
young, but don't be afraid to get old.
Stay young. There's always Botox.
Okay, and back into my host mode. Just so everyone remembers, we do post all of our episodes on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Make sure that you follow us on all of our social media platforms. We got TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and yeah, thumbs up on the video, and please rate us 5 stars or whatever we deserve, 5 stars on the podcast platforms. And we will see you when I'm 30.
30 in a couple days.
Oh my God.